the worst thing you can ever say to a man, especially a proud one, especially a tall man. You see, allow me to preach for a second, okay? Mnisi is not on the shorter side. No, 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 no. And by the way, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody else, so don't start typing. But you know what the good news is? I have limited commenting to just members of the public jury. Oh, yes. But anyway, which means the comment section is so refreshing of late. But, anyways, don't forget to hit that subscription button so you can join in on the conversation. But let me tell you something. Mnisi is a tall man, which means he sees things from a different height. He's even taller than Advocate Judge Baloyi. And then, yesterday, my lord told the Dr. Sibanda to take an exercise walk to go figure out what was going on with the ghost assassins. Somebody said that in the comment section. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. And I said, you know what? I'm going to steal it. Ghosty is stealing the ghost assassin statement. So, and for sure, Dr. Sibanda went to go check out what's going on with the ghosts and came back and said, my lord, I got no update. And then my lord, in typical, I don't know what to call it. I don't want to say abusive, and I also don't want to say narcissistic tendencies, but I want to say it's borderline one of those two. He says to Mnisi Wemvula, well, he didn't say to Mnisi, he said to Nxumalo, who said, he's in good standing. And my lord said, that's because you're a man. Let me tell you something, that hits different. Because that means to Mnisi Wemvula, you're saying he's not man enough. He's whining about mental health. That was just 24 hours ago. And Mnisi says, I'm going to show you the power of being a man. And I'm not just a man, I am a man of integrity. And I'm going to do my heads of arguments from the bar. And boy, did I love the whole display. Meanwhile, Baloyi was reading everything. And the man, no offense to Nxumalo, but you're going under the X today. Yes, Mr. I'm in good standings. Read his whole arguments, and we'll talk about them in a separate video. No, nothing wrong with a reading, but there's a huge difference between a man who reads and a man who presents without reading. And then Mnisi said, I'm just going to also tell you something about Sergeant Magola. And he reenacts what he thinks happened when Gwabini, the Section 204 witness, that came to the court doors himself. Let's hear Mnisi's version, and I'll give you my interpretation as well. Here goes.
I'm eager to go and tell the court what I know about this case. Then they say, no, Mr. Gwabini, can you please go. I would have imagined how Mr. Magola actually said to that, Mr. Gwabini, please do not make noise. Let us not make a scene. Can you please go. That is what they did. Then they leave him in a ledge because they realize that he was not a good witness for them. And not only not a good witness for them because he had to come and change what he had initially told to them. No, simply because he told them nothing. He had to come here and speak to what he knows about this case. But because of the efforts that they've tried in vain to sway him, to say things that he did not know in favor of the state, they could not hold him. He became a hot potato in their hands. That is the reason why the state decided not to use him as a Section 204 witness. And they made him available to the defense. Then the defense picked him up from the trash place, cleaned him and said, Mr. Gwabini, you will not be coming to testify for us. You will be coming to testify about what you know in this case. Can you please come and assist the court to come to a just, equitable, and a justifiable finding? He came and testified. As I've said, my lord, the state is requesting this court to embark on a process, which is a trial and error process. These accused, they are not guinea pigs.
I don't get into trouble. I cause it. Yeah, I take a decision that will cause trouble now.
Are not here as guinea pigs. The procedure is very specific. Prove the statement, establish the basis of the statement, and then proceed to do whatever that you want to do with that witness. The state says the interest of justice dictates that, I don't refer to that shade matter, They're referring to Hepworth, they're referring to the shape matter, they're referring to the multi-choice matter. They're referring to a whole lot of array of matters, the Dlamini, the others, Jubert and Skitechat. They are saying it is in the interest of justice that they be allowed to cross-examine on the content of the statement that allegedly Mr. Gwabini made. But still, who said that they cannot do that? Nobody said that. There is only, however, one test that they have to pass or fail before they get into the statement of Mr. Gwabini. And that is what this was all about, my lord. And very interestingly, I remember now, on Tuesday when we reconvened, when the state had to start to make submissions, then the court said, Mr. Baloyi, we basically saw that you can prove the statement, not so. They said, no, my lord, I've prepared head of arguments. And then the court said, no, but Mr. Baloyi, we would be expecting you to prove that statement. Then said, no, my lord, I think we had agreed with my colleagues that we should file heads of argument. I've already done that, and then may I be allowed the opportunity to go through my statement. Then the court, I think, in his brilliant mind, gave him the benefit of a doubt, thinking that probably he will come up with something extraordinary, exceptional, that will demonstrate that maybe there's another process that he would have come up with based on authority, well-recognized authority, through which a witness statement could be embarked upon in trying to deal with the content of such a statement with a view to try and prove the credibility or to discredit the witness who is alleged to have made that statement. As I've said, my lord, in the context of my submission, none of that has come. We still back to square one. Prove the statements.
You kept saying they're going to win. Yeah. Basebenzile abafana. Yo, inhliziyo yami icishe yama.
I would therefore submit, my lords, as I end, that fairness of a trial simply also dictates, in respect of the cases that the state has referred to, the Hepworth, the Shakes, the Skitechat, the multi-choice, the Daminis, and etc. These are all cases that basically refer to the concept of a fair trial. And indeed, the fair trial also dictates that if there's a specific procedure that has been tried and tested and it is in place and it is authority, that procedure cannot be deviated upon for flimsy reasons. Number one. Number two, start the cases, my lords, as fakir non mawere. In other words, do not change what is standing. Do not move what is being regarded as law at that particular moment in time. The state had not brought forward any specific authority to say, this is my authority. We're now moving away from the fact that if I wanted to discredit this witness, then I can simply embark upon that without proving that statement. Fairness of a trial also dictates that if there's a standing process that has been recognized for all these years and it is authority, such should be complied with, my lord. Otherwise, the processes that are put in place in order to safeguard the smooth of trials and everything will be turned into a mockery if in one circumstances one party goes to the east, the next time it goes to the west, the next time it goes to the east, and Mpumalanga njalo njalo. No, that is not like that, my lord. As I conclude, my lord, I would therefore humbly submit that there's nothing that the state has come up with here. There's nothing new. Subsequent to the submission that I made earlier on, which was based on my objection that the state has come up with here. Even now, the state has not made any case for an exception to the rule, which is prove the statement before you get into it, my lord. Thank you.
Yes. There's a song that says, what a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man. Let me know if you know that song. That, ladies and gentlemen, is Mnisi Wemvula mic drop. As he says, you know what? There is nothing new that the state has come up with. And I have to agree. I literally left Madlanga Commission, okay? I left Julius Mkonazi failing to answer questions. He was in the middle of telling us about Kat Matlala and the money that he's been giving him. I left. And I walked out of the Madlanga Commission and I came back home. I came back home. Come on now, give me a 2. Give me a 2 if you appreciate that I came back home. I left the Madlanga Commission in the heat of it, in the thick of it. And then I listened to Judge Baloyi. I listened. I said, what's this man talking about? He's just telling us what happened last week. I How is that proving it? He must prove it. I thought he was going to come with the fire. I thought he was going to open his big giant books and come with the fire. No, he was reading us the record. And he was telling us why Brigadier Bongani Gabadia didn't, call him as a witness. I mean, it's quite shocking. Actually, it's quite embarrassing. It was an embarrassing presentation by the state. But one thing about Mnisi Wemvula, he showed us who's the man in the house. He showed us. No matter what happens, no matter what my Lord decides, he said, I am the man. Now, here's what's concerning. Is there going to be a decision tomorrow? Tomorrow is the very last day in 2025 of the SENZO MEYIWA trial. Oh my goodness. Wow. It ended too fast. We just got our momentum going. Our emotions were pulled everywhere this week. Our mental health as a family was also pulled apart. And then George Baloyi stood there and just read us the record. Those were his heads of arguments. After coming up with some ghost assassins. Yeah. Anyway, you know what? It is what it is. It is what it is. The state's case is crumbling before our eyes. As Ngomezulu said, may his soul continue to rest in peace. One would be tempted to say they are cooking day in, day out because the state doesn't have a... You know what? Let me play the clip. Run the clip.
Now, Colonel Host, I'm going to tell you that you are now adapting your evidence. And let me read for you paragraph 6 of Exhibit DD5.
In possession of accused number 2. It's a violation of that standing order. Now, the state says this witness is not in a position to answer that question. Unless the state is insinuating that this witness's IQ is very low.
Accused number 1 was not there. They're busy now. That's why one would be tempted to say they are cooking, they are manufacturing day in, day out, so that it can fit what the state wants to do. Because I can tell this court now they don't have a case. I'm not
voluminous documents, but the court can just look at these voluminous documents, and I'll also have to study them and go and consult with Mr. Nure in order to get proper instructions.
I haven't received those SMSs, my lord. Thank you.
I received another bundle of documents from the state, of which I have not been able to read them. I can see also the email was sent last night at 2300 hours, of which I was not told not to sleep and wait for this email. Unfortunately, I couldn't read it overnight. As a result, my lord, I would like to place it on record that this is a trial by ambush, my lord. Yesterday I had...
I'll say this slowly so that it will be understood.
There are pages that are missing. And my lord, what is very bad in this trial is that the state is dishonest with this court.
Those are records that are relevant. I'm in possession of the 205s for Kelly Kuman. And the state, I'm going to show the state that there was no such a communication. That is direct evidence. I'm not sucking a thumb to say I'm looking for the number for Ntuli, for Mapisa, for whoever. I've got the records for Kelly Kuman on the date of when SENZO was killed. They're busy with 2018, 2021. We are not really interested. That's not our defense.
That is the first thing. And secondly, my lord, I hear the submissions of Mr. Mgomezulu, but
I must respond to what Mr. said. I just wanted to say that is not correct. When we spoke...
When he says you consulted, he's not correct.
No, I did not consult.
Okay, fine.
Whatever information that comes after a full disclosure, after the trial has commenced, It's ambush.
You are saying I'm a cheat for the serious reasons. I'm concluding. I've taken an oath, if you don't know it, to administer the laws and the constitution without fear, favor, or prejudice, and to the best of our ability. I don't know, Mr. Baloyi in a bar of smoke.
Have you not heard when I mentioned 4629 with the time?
Another challenge, ma'am, is you're talking low. Ukhulumela phansi.
You are speaking very low.
What?